Alright, welcome back everybody to Higurashi no Onaku Koro ni. So, we are still connecting the fragments, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, I'm kind of done with the fragments at this point. The only thing I really care about is seeing Satoshi, this arc, fulfilled and figure out what happened to him. And I really hope he's just like chilling out in Tokyo having like a great time and just said fuck Hinamizawa. I would love that. That would be the most ironic and fantastic thing ever, because then Shion went on a murder spree for nothing and it would just be funny. Okay, so let's continue. I feel like I keep saying this, but I feel like we're so close to being done with these. But yeah, I'm just done with these. They're just like, they keep saying like the same things, like things we already know, like but we're getting close because we just had a scene where Keiichi's parents were looking at the property. So we're getting close. We're getting close. So here we go. This is Satoshi. Maybe we're finally getting back on Satoshi. School is the children's world. The values of grown-ups don't apply. Children decide their own values and create their own world. So the rules of the grown-up world of the village don't mean anything here. Yeah. Even when the villagers badmouth the Hojo family and try to isolate them, that has no meaning at our school. In the children's world, children decide the rules. Rules they think are irrational don't exist here. That's why, as the representative for the children here, I vow that I will never let any irrational rules come into our world. Within the school, no harassment is allowed towards the Hojo siblings. In the very beginning, some boys teased Satoko, but they were punished severely and it hasn't happened ever since. That's the least I can do to resist the madness of the village. So I hope Satoshi and Satoko both feel that school is safe for them. Satoshi must notice my concern because he often smiles when he's here. However, I never see Satoko smile. Satoko's classmates used to try to cheer her up, but soon after they decided that it was best to just leave her alone. I used to try to talk to her, but when I realized something, I stopped doing that. I'm a member of the Sonozaki family. To Satoko, I'm one of her enemies, so I'm sure she feels uncomfortable to have me around her. All I can do is watch over her. That's why Satoko's alone in the classroom. That said, Rika's always hanging around with her, even though Satoko told her she was annoying. Satoshi, too, is always beside her. These two are the only ones who remain by her side. It isn't limited to Satoko, of course. The malicious isolation is still continuing towards the Hojo family. I still can't get over the fact that Rika, who nobody in the village can talk back to, doesn't just say, "Stop fucking with my friend." Why doesn't... I don't get it. Because their hysterical aunt is so hostile towards her neighbors, there's nobody who sympathizes with her. It's wise to know there are fights worth picking, and also fights better set aside. If the aunt had even a little tolerance or self-control, this isolation wouldn't have continued. I don't know about that. Of course, the villagers were the ones who forced them into that role, even though they weren't related to the issue. But if she had stayed quiet, then it wouldn't have gone so far. I don't know about that. The aunt's hostility is one thing, but she's dragging everyone in the family into it as well. I don't know about that. I'm just gonna keep saying that. I think you guys would still be assholes towards the Hojos, whether the aunt was a bitch or not. The uncle and aunt haven't been getting along, and he hardly comes home. Both Satoshi and Satoko are forced to live in shame. The aunt vents her stress by harassing Satoko. This was the same too. The aunt is her guardian after all, but Satoko doesn't even try to hide her disgust, so things aren't going smoothly between them. If she had behaved like Satoshi, then she wouldn't have been made into a target. So does that mean the sad life Satoko is living right now is something she caused herself? Kinda. I mean, she is the one that killed her parents who actually loved her. and the dad was actually trying to be good. I know I shouldn't be harsh on Satoko, but if Satoshi literally just said, fuck this, and left, it would be hard for me to not understand that. No, it doesn't. But no matter how much I sympathize and how much I want to help her, nobody knows what to do. You could use your mouths. My God, I swear, the only smart person in this whole goddamn game is Rika's mother. She's the only person in this freaking story that is any... And Aksa is also smart. Keiichi's not bad. Keiichi has a pass because he's not part of the village, so he doesn't have any excuse for being an idiot. And honestly, he's not. He acts like one, but he is actually quite... He's commonsensually not an idiot, I should say. And he's also quite smart as well. That was one of his problems in where they came from, right? He was actually really, like, he was just bored. He was like Shinichi. Or not Shinichi. Light. He was just bored because he was like smart, and so he started BB gunning people. Which, by the way, once again, I've been hit by a BB gun, and I used to like play with BB guns. So like BB gunning people, oh my gosh, what a horrible crime. The flow can't be reversed. The fact that the Hojo family is ostracized by the entire village can't be changed. Yosu-kun. You guys, just get ready for me to slip in those snarky lines after every sentence this episode. I'm sorry. That's the horribleness lurking underneath our lives. The neighbors, the village, and the community. Once they become your enemies, the world can become so cruel. Japanese people have known that since ancient times, which is why we cultivated empathy and an obligation to show courtesy to one's neighbors. You know, there's something that I forgot. This takes place like during the 80s or something, right? Like, it's not nowadays, and it's also in a tiny ass village. But you know what's the funny part? Is whenever I go hiking or like whatever, I meet the nicest elderly Japanese people. I meet more kind elderly Japanese people who don't care about foreigners or different people in rural areas than I do in the city. Like, I literally had this adorable grandma who ran this like cute little curry shop, like shove this giant orange on me and refused to until I took the orange when I was hiking once. Like, they love and they'll talk to you, but in the city, nope. So it's like they say this, like, if you're different, but I feel like it's so weird because to me, whenever I'm in a rural area, I feel more accepted than in the city as a foreigner. Like, people just like want to talk to me, and then, you know. Anyways. So I find it interesting that it seems like the elderly people, from all my experiences here, are more open-minded in a weird way. Okay. No matter who I blame, Satoko won't smile. So the only thing I can do is watch over her and make sure that she's safe when she's at school. Thank you, Mion. Huh? Sorry, what? I just want to thank you for being so concerned about Satoko. Satoshi kind of appears absent-minded, but sometimes he says things as if he can read your thoughts. I tried to deny it since it's out of character for me, but he smiled as if he could tell exactly what I was thinking. Satoko's just forgotten how to smile. When she's at school, she can let go of a little tension for a while. I'm sure she treasures that time. That's basically the only thing this old man can do for her. That's not true. I really appreciate it. Stop that. You don't need to say that. Besides, my family is the one who's causing all this grief. I don't think that way. I really don't. I'm not good at reading people's subtle cues, but I know for sure what he said is a lie. Satoshi knows that he and his family are being isolated because of the Sonozakis, and he's of course aware that I'm a member of the Sonozaki family too. Satoshi's mature, and that's the only reason he doesn't take it out on me. If he had the same temper as his aunt, he would hate me bitterly, knowing that the least I can do is not get close to them. But I'm a meddlesome person, and when I see Satoko looking depressed or Satoshi forcing himself to smile, I have to do something. That might be even more trouble to Satoshi and Satoko, though. Maybe. I just don't understand Satoko's feelings. Why? My family is causing Satoko's grief, so for me, a member of that family, to hang around her, is that the right thing to do? Sure. That's being you. What do you mean by that? Are you saying I'm insensitive? I don't mean that. If this atmosphere itself is robbing Satoko of her smile, then only someone who can completely ignore it can bring her smile back. This old man can't tell if you're trying to compliment him or not. You're mean. No, Satoshi! Shion likes you, and I actually ship you and Shion, because I think you're a cute couple. Oh, but they changed places. I'm not ridiculing you, really. I just want you to help. Huh? I can't make Satoko smile again by myself. I need someone like you to help me. But I'm Mion Sonozaki, you know? If I do something insensitive, I might end up hurting Satoko even more. Satoko's already lonely. Are you going to leave her alone too? This is the first time Satoshi has asked me for something so aggressively. Satoko is a very important person to him. He's saying he needs my help to make her smile again. But still, no. Maybe he's right. What's going on between the Sonozaki family and the Hojo family is an issue among the grown-ups. We children don't need to care about that. The irrational rules of grown-ups don't mean anything in our world. So I have to object to the irrationality of the grown-up world using methods of my own. Are you sure Satoko won't feel bothered by me? She may, at first. But I'll be with you. I'll be with you, Mion. So she'll open up right away. You think so? Should we do something after school today? If we go home first, our aunt might say something, and we might not be able to leave. Okay, then it's simple. Don't go home first. But if we get home too late, she'll ask what we're doing. Let's see. I know. That's how the club is formed. Interesting. Why don't you join a club? A club? Yeah. Tell her you're going to an after-school club. Tell her that you're doing something after school before going home. There are plenty of people who go out after school before they go home. That'll be no problem. But if we mess up our clothes, our aunt will say, okay then, we'll do something indoors. Considering all the shit they get into in their club that is outdoors, then your clothes will stay clean. Indoors? You mean in the classroom? But wouldn't Chi-sensei say something? It's possible to play passionately while not going wild indoors. Contrary to my appearance, I love playing games. I've collected some treasures from overseas, too. Some of the manuals are written in English and are a little complicated. Well, with some of them, I need someone to play with. So a lot of them are just sitting in the storage room. Do you think Satoko can play those too? Sure! If you don't know the rules, then you just make them up. Oh. See, this is cute. I like the formation of their club story. As long as everyone knows, it's totally okay. I said it so confidently, but would bringing games from home and asking Satoko to play with us actually make her smile again? What have I got to lose? Maybe I'll bring one of those board games tomorrow. Oh, also, Mion, I have something else I want to ask you. What? This old man is all ears. I am looking for a part-time job. I thought if I could get her a nice... Oh, the bear. Wait, this has to be close to when he disappears. I thought if I could get her a nice birthday present, that might make her feel better. I want to see what happened to Satoshi. I really hope he's just chilling in Tokyo. Please, for ironic sake. For irony's sake, I should say. I didn't like when his cheeks turned red because I'm a total Satoshi Shion shipper. Even if he's dead. Okay. Please be Satoshi. Oh, I see. No, you don't need to do that. You're a promising member of the Hinamizawa Fighters. We'll save your spot. So you can come back anytime, okay? I don't know about that, though. I have no idea when I can come back, so I thought I should resign at least for now. Satoshi-kun says he wants to quit the Hinamizawa Fighters. I know very well of Satoshi and Satoko's situation, so I was expecting that he might say this. The relationship between Satoko and her aunt has gotten worse, to the point that it can be considered abuse. When someone from the Child Consultation Center came, of course her aunt behaved herself. Then immediately after, her harassment turned even more vicious. According to the neighbors, the aunt's scolding Satoko's crying can be heard nightly, and sometimes it goes on past midnight. Wouldn't the Child Consultation Center... There's some really stupid people in this novel. Wouldn't they, like, ask the neighbors... Like, you know people are gonna behave. Come on, you're not that stupid. Or are you? Satoko-chan's weekly physical checkups results are slowly growing worse, and we're trying to keep her stable by increasing her medication. But unless her relationship with her aunt improves, she's sure to go terminal and sink into madness. Although she isn't the type to become deranged, even at the terminal stage, she's the type who holds everything in, harboring her insanity inside. Just like she pushed her parents off the cliff 2 years ago, Satoko may kill her aunt. What if Satoko does kill her aunt? And Satoshi had nothing to do with it. Thanks to the mountain dogs, the incident was resolved as an accident and Oishi stepped aside, although he's still suspicious. If something like that happens again around Satoko, he's sure to investigate her mercilessly. I can't do anything more about Satoko's environment changing for the worse. So I'm not surprised to hear that Satoshi wants to quit the baseball team so he can be with his sister more. Actually, I'm starting a part-time job. That's why I can't come to practice. A part-time job? Is this something you want to buy? Yeah. It's almost Satoko's birthday. There's a teddy bear Satoko's been looking at, and I want to get it for her. That's right. I remember the birth date on her insurance card. I think it's June 24th. Right after the Watchnagashi festival. Yes! Oh my god, it's so exciting. Satoshi is the character that I'm like the most interested in. Like, the other ones you can kind of piece together, but we don't really know whether Satoshi's dead or he's just chilling in Tokyo. I see. You're such a good brother. I'm sure Satoko will be thrilled. I hope so. I can tell Satoshi's also stressed. To him, seeing Satoko being harassed is the same thing as being harassed himself. Hey, baby girl. Wanna come sit on mommy's lap? His stress can be released through moderate exercise, such as with sports, and also with plenty of rest. We're gonna take a brief pause right now to quote a very wonderful line from a musical I've been in twice and a wonderful movie that you have to watch. Exercise releases endorphins, and endorphins make you happy, and happy people don't kill their husbands. And it's true. Exercise makes you feel better, people. Even if it's just a light walk. People say exercise to lose weight, but really it's more about making you feel better. Happy people don't kill people. Oh my god. It's true. Mwah. If Satoko's being yelled at nightly, then it's easy to figure out that Satoshi isn't getting enough sleep either. I don't know what kind of job he's starting, but I don't think he'll be able to vent his stress on it. In fact, I don't like the idea of Satoshi taking a part-time job because he's already worn out in every way. I asked him if he wanted to help him pay for the present, but of course he declined the offer. It's a present from him, so he wants to earn the money himself. He's taking this part-time job only to earn enough money to buy Satoko's present, so it'll be a temporary thing. How expensive is a fucking teddy bear? In the 80s. If it's for a short period of time, maybe it won't be that bad. While I want to stop him from working because I don't want him to get even more stressed. Since he says Satoko's birthday's near, I don't think I can stop him. Satoshi's determined. You know, Irie, why haven't you ever thought that Satoshi might have the disease? Like, he lives in the same stressful environment, which is what you said causes it. If I say any more, I may lose his trust. So I have to accept his leave of absence. Oh, Coach? Can I maybe borrow a bat? Tell me what happens. I completely misunderstood his words. Later I found out he carried around that bat to protect himself. And realized that even then he was already showing some dangerous symptoms. He believed there would be a fourth mysterious death this year, and that he would be the victim. He became obsessed with the idea that someone was after his life. That is a symptom of Hinamizawa syndrome's terminal stage. But although I was involved so deeply with this syndrome, I was careless. A bat? What do you need a bat for? Satoshi had his own bat. So we should have asked if he could take it home, but instead he asked if he could borrow it. When I think about it now, he said it that way to lighten his guilty conscience. But how could I have known then? That is kind of careless of you, like... Well, although I can't come to practice, I think I'll have a little time to practice swinging on my own. That's great. Sure, please take it with you. But make sure you do it in an open space, okay? It would be a bother if it won't bother your neighbors, it's good to practice to hit a hanging tire. Swinging a bat can release stress, so letting him take his bat home will help. That's what I thought. But that was a huge mistake. I realized it only when things were past the point of no return. Past the point of no return, no going back now. The bridge is burned, so stand and watch it burn. Beyond the point of no return. Here we go! Here we go! We were prepared to respond quickly this year. This has gotta be Oishi. Hold on. I gotta get my... That was why we were able to start the investigation immediately by securing the crime scene. The victim is the wife of the younger brother of the Hojo couple. So she's an extremely suitable target for the fourth year's curse of Oishiro-sama. Wait, does this mean we still don't know what happened to Satoshi? They're just gonna pass over that and not tell us what happened? Alright, don't get it? She has a horrible reputation among the locals. After the incident, everyone said she deserved to be cursed. I have a general idea of who the culprit might be. It's probably Satoshi Hojo. That innocent-looking kid. There's even a motive. The deceased abused his sister relentlessly. So this would be in revenge for that. Or protection, stupid dumbass cops. Also, when he attended the inspection of the crime scene, he was breath and frantic, yet also far too composed. It was as if he was totally unrelated to the incident. My intuition from many years of police work tells me that 8 or 9 times out of 10, someone who acts like that is the perp. I have no concrete proof, but if I question him and shake him up a bit, I have a feeling he'll confess. For the victim to be so beaten up, the culprit must have some blood on him as well. If we can find that, we'll have proof. Unless he's a complete fool, I'm sure he's already gotten rid of it by now. If we can't find anything in the place he says he disposed it in after he fesses up, then we can convince the prosecutor too. This was pretty insignificant as a standalone case. A confession from Satoshi would end it. Everyone except me must believe that. But if I look at it as a part of a series of mysterious deaths, it won't be so easy. Either the 3 families of the village or the Sonozaki family alone is directly involved in this. If they are the ones pulling the strings, then they must have instigated Satoshi into committing this crime. If so, Satoshi is someone who knows way too much about them. The Sonozaki's actions must remain hidden. If he could connect them to the crime, would they let him run around freely? Satoshi's a loving brother who cares very much for his sister, and they set him up to kill his aunt as the 4th year's curse. After that, they will eliminate the one person who can connect them to the crime. Satoshi is not just a simple criminal. He was a setup. And after that, my suspicions were confirmed, for he abruptly vanished. He disappeared in such a puzzling way. Didn't one of the sisters in one of the chapters, though, say Satoshi was down the well? You know, the evil well with all the bones? Also, I want to remind you that for those of you who are being turned around on the Sonozakis as being nice, let us remind you that the grandmother ripped Shionomiya, I can't remember whose, nails out because they were falling in love with Satoshi. And that one murder of, like, Satoko's uncle's girlfriend. I don't even remember where that was. He didn't run because he was afraid his crime had come to light. Another culprit came into the picture. He was already arrested for a different crime, and furthermore, he died while in prison. He confessed to the information only the culprit himself would have known. Therefore, he must be the culprit. But as he's already dead, the investigation was closed. Then Satoshi disappeared a few days after the festival. It's obvious someone doesn't want Satoshi to be connected to this incident. My boss put pressure on me to close the investigation and to file Satoshi's disappearance as a separate incident. He even handed the case over to a different section. The way this case is closing so rapidly greatly resembles the same trick used 2 years ago with the Hojo couple's accident. Wait, so it was Takano that was behind this as well? There's no doubt it's the work of someone who can put pressure on the police. As it happens, the Sonozaki family is the only one who can actually exact influence on the police department here in the Hinamizawa area. They may think their trails are covered, but this points towards them more clearly than anything. I hope Satoshi didn't get dissected. Aww. According to my informant, Oryo Sonozaki mentioned the 4th year's curse at the family meeting and hinted that she was the one behind it. Hinting isn't strong enough evidence, but there's no mistaking that Oryo Sonozaki's the one pulling the strings. I know they're the ones who did in the old man, but I just can't grab them. The principal offender is still on the loose, but I'm sure he's being sheltered somewhere. I have to locate him and find that missing right arm. I would turn the arm to his grave and make the principal offender and the masterminds both bow down before it. However, just like how Satoshi disappeared, it's possible the principal offender has already been eliminated. I bet he's already been killed and buried somewhere nobody can find. Well, you're not wrong about that. If that's the case, then that's fine. I'll make the old bag who ordered someone to kill the old man slam her forehead again on the ground before his grave. This I swear. After the 4th year's curse, people are already saying something will happen again next year. Even with all my preparations, I couldn't prevent the incident from happening this time. It's too late if something happens. I must keep my eyes on the core of the village before something takes place. There's a reason why I have to get to the bottom of this by next year. Because I'm retiring. My mother's been wanting to go back to her hometown in Hokkaido, and for a long time she's been asking me to move there when I retire. I feel that's the least I can do for her, so I agreed to move to Hokkaido when I retire. So next year is my last chance to avenge the old man's death. Who's the old man? Is he talking about the priest? It happened 4 years in a row, so more than likely there will be a 5th curse too. As a result of a series of mysterious deaths, the village has been tightly knit together since the damn protests. They were told that betrayers will be punished in the name of the curse. To the masterminds, that's enough reason to continue with the series of mysterious deaths. According to the rumors, this year's victim, the aunt, was cursed because she didn't participate in the Matsuibayashi festival. So there are villagers who believe that if they don't participate in next year's Matsuibayashi, they'll be cursed. It'll be a huge festival next year for sure. Something will happen. The series of mysterious deaths, also known as the curse, I will avenge the old man. I definitely will. Right, well that was the battle cry. What happened to Satoshi? Tell me, game, I don't care about this other stuff. I don't care. I don't want to know what happened to Satoshi. Please tell me he's chilling in Tokyo with a job and going to school. He doesn't even have to be going to school. He could just be working at a freaking ramen shop. Hold on, before we do that, I want to make sure there's no one-to-ones. We're getting so close. The village was in an uproar because the 4th mysterious death in a row, which everyone believed would happen, actually did. Satoko's aunt was killed. All the villagers feel rather satisfied about this incident, saying the curse finally fell on her for being a local troublemaker. God, this village is full of assholes. But I know the truth. When I saw the beaten up body at the crime scene, I knew Satoshi was responsible for it. Her abuse towards Satoko was getting worse and worse. Satoshi wanted to protect her, so we brought home a baseball bat. All the signs were there, so I didn't even need to hear it from Satoshi. Yet I couldn't avoid questioning myself. I have no idea who this is. Is this Mion? I felt bad for the Hojo siblings who had no one on their side, so I tried to be their ally. In the end, I failed to be any help to them. The phone rang. It was Satoshi. He's never called me before. What happened? Does he want me to help him? If so, I will. I truly feel that way. Oh, idiot. Hello, coach? Sorry to bother you while you're at work. Oh, don't worry. What can I do for you? I can't think of anyone else who has a car. A car? Sure, I have one. I'm in front of the toy store in Okonomiya. Not the one owned by Mion's uncle, but the other one by the dentist's office. Did he? Tell me he hitched a ride to Tokyo! Please! Sure, I know where it is. I found a teddy bear for Satoko's birthday, but... it's too big to put on my bicycle. Too big? Satoshi, how big is this teddy bear? I guess he didn't think about it and went to the toy store on his bicycle. Now he's stuck. That's so typical of him, I can't help but smile warmly. In other words, he can't carry both the bicycle and the teddy bear, so he wants me to come pick him up. He's not there, isn't he? I told him I'd be right over, and headed to the toy store in Okonomiya. When I got there, I found the teddy bear he bought is a lot bigger than I imagined. Oh my, this is huge! There's no way you could put this on your bicycle, huh? Oh wait, I thought he wasn't there. The teddy bear is so big that Satoshi can hardly wrap his arms around it. If he puts it on his lap in the passenger seat, he won't be able to see anything. We loaded the bicycle in the back seat and stuffed the teddy bear in the trunk. Boy, it must have been expensive. Yeah. I guess. At first I thought he was sweating because of the heat, but he's acting odd. As if he has a high fever and his consciousness is coming and going. What's wrong? Are you feeling okay? I guess. Well, I think I have a cold. That's not good. Do you want to swing by the clinic? I'll give you a checkup. No! You did not dissect my Satoshi-kun. I love Satoshi. He's one of my favorite characters. Even without meeting him, I've loved him. Thanks. When he called earlier, he didn't sound this way. Did he become ill all of a sudden? Why don't you put the seat back? Is it too cold? Are you okay? His face is turning pale. I can tell he has a high fever. Satoshi was pushing himself to buy this bear. A teddy bear this size can't be that cheap. For him to earn enough money in such a short period of time, he must have worked hard and long hours. Maybe he felt relieved now that he got the teddy bear he had wanted to buy. It's not unusual for a person to collapse after reaching his big goal. I'm proud of you for earning enough money to buy such a huge teddy bear. Satoko will be so happy. I hope so. I'm sure she will be. I guarantee it. Our aunt is gone. Our uncle isn't coming back. There's nobody can hurt her in any way anymore, right? That's right. There won't be anyone who can hurt her. So you can relax now. Our aunt is gone. Right? She died, right? Yes, she's dead. I performed the autopsy. There can be no mistake. She'll never abuse Satoko again. Are you sure? Did you really confirm that she's dead? Yes, I sure did. So, even if I see someone who looks just like her, it's not her, right? It's not like she was actually alive and recovered, right? No, that's not possible. She'll never come back to us. Then, look, that lady. She looks like her, but that's not my aunt, right? Right? Oh, that was a little loud. Satoshi pointed at the oncoming car in fear. Of course, the car passed so quickly that I couldn't see her face. But no matter how much she looks like her, it's impossible for her to be alive. Look! Look! Look at her! She looks exactly like her! She even looked at me! Calm down, Satoshi! Your aunt is dead! So no matter how much she looks like her, it's not your aunt! But she looks just like her. Look! No. It must be her. That's my aunt. She's killed her. I bashed her head in repeatedly. Why? Why? Don't dissect him! I can only try to stay calm and drive. Satoshi's losing his cool. He's delusional. He's seeing his aunt coming back from the dead. Then I finally realize. Satoshi's displaying symptoms of a terminal stage. I need to examine him once I get to the clinic. It's different from Satoko's case. We already have the cure. We can treat Satoshi. If I talk to the mountain... Oh my god. Mountain dogs, they'll take care of the murder of his aunt. So I can both save him from going terminal and give him back his peaceful days with Satoko. He was deranged until just a minute ago, but now he's gone quiet. He didn't fall asleep. I must get to the clinic while Satoshi remains in this calm state. There's no guarantee that he won't attack me while I'm driving. As if he knows what's going through my mind, Satoshi spoke to me quietly. Coach, is this the curse of Oyashiro-sama? There is no curse. Please try to stay focused. Satoko, sorry. Until just before I bought the teddy bear, I was thinking about running away. That's why Oyashiro-sama got angry. I'm a failure as a big brother. I'm... You don't need to say anything. Close your eyes and get some rest. We'll get to the clinic soon. Then I'll give you some medicine, okay? I feel like there are maggots in my blood. It itches. Don't scratch. Don't claw at your throat. We arrived at the back door to the clinic. I slammed the brakes and stopped the car. Satoshi had already started to claw at his throat. I can't stop him by myself. I asked for some help through the intercom. Damn it. Some staff members came out immediately. Maybe Satoshi was surprised to see so many people at once because he started to resist. I don't even need to run tests. He's at L5. He reached the terminal stage and his thoughts must be filled with delusions. Maybe he thinks the staff members want to kill him. The staff members pinned his arms and legs down and gave him a shot to put him to sleep. Coach, please, help me. Don't worry. I'll make you better, so please relax. Coach, please, take care of Satoko. Please take care of Satoko. After saying those words, he fell unconscious. You fucking bitch! You killed Satoshi, didn't you? You dissected. You did it, didn't you? I want to murder this. Oh my god. My. What's going on? Satoshi suddenly displayed symptoms. Considering the amount of stress he's been under, it was just a matter of time. Or maybe he was holding it back until he bought the teddy bear. It's interesting that we somehow always find a live specimen around Watanagashi. Ugh! Do you think it's the curse of Oyashiro-sama? I don't have time to listen to her nonsense. You bitch. You dissected him, didn't you? You killed Satoshi, didn't you? You fucking bitch. You fucking... Hey! I don't know what to do. Huh? My name is Ichiro Maibara, and I am hopelessly lost. I came to Hinamizawa on a tour to find a lot for a vacation home. When the realtor finished explaining some details, he told us to take a walk until the departure time. Such beautiful scenery and fresh air. I let my senses guide me and here I am. Where am I? I still have a little time before the departure, but I am completely lost. This is basically the middle of nowhere, but people actually do live here. If I keep walking, I should run into somebody. Then I can ask for directions. Don't worry. There's only one thing I need to keep in mind is the departure time for the bullet train. But the more the time passes, the more I start to think I was being too optimistic about running into somebody. Because I can't find anybody! Maybe I'm walking farther and farther away from people are, in which case I'm in serious trouble. So upon hearing someone's voice, I felt immensely relieved. It sounds like little girls are playing nearby. If it's a place where little kids can play, it must be a safe village. I followed those voices. This reminds me of every horror movie ever where they move to the country and then they, like, shit hits the fan. How do you say that? Pompous? pampas. Upon rounding the wild pampas grass, I can see a beautiful field. 2 girls are playing there. They're dancing in the field filled with blooming wildflowers. What I'm seeing is more beautiful than all the great works of art I've ever seen put together. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but this looks holier than any religious painting. Why is it that seeing innocent girls dance around like this makes people feel this way? It's probably because we're sinners. You can't live with pleasure and glory alone. We sin even as we live. That's why we feel awed by the sight of innocence. It reminds us of the time when we were pure. We grow up naturally and we lose innocence as we do, and we admire and adore the children who symbolize that which we've lost. Meep! There's a suspicious person who's mumbling some weird stuff over there. What? Keiichi's dad can see Hanyu? Rika, that's not a suspicious person. Huh? Sorry. I'm not suspicious. Wait a minute. Keiichi's dad. What secret you holding, buddy? Why can you see a god? But you've been staring at my chest and legs. Meepa. No, I'm not! Don't turn me in, I really wasn't staring. I was using this mirror to fix my hair. I don't know what you're talking about, but it sure sounds interesting. Like father, like son. The girls teased me for a while, and when they got tired of doing that, they went back to dancing around. Realizing that whatever I said would backfire, I decided to leave them alone and sat down to watch them play. I wonder how old they are. Thousands of years old. They seem rather young, but maybe they could be close to Keiichi's age. Ah! If we move here, Keiichi might see them at school. If he would see them at school, then they were girls that lived here. If all the children in Hinamizawa are like them, then even if living a rural life may have some challenges, there's a good reason for us to move here. We're not very good parents. We didn't understand what Keiichi was going through and left him alone until the very end. You know what? You guys really aren't very good parents. Because doesn't his parents like take off to Tokyo together and not bring him along when when all of the shit hits the fan? Like in most of the chapters? Why don't you bring your son with you to your art show? Like, why is he not going? Why is your wife going with you when your son isn't? Really, I never really understood that. According to the parenting book I bought, the first few problems are calls for help. It doesn't matter what the action itself is, but the fact that those actions are occurring is a primitive appeal from a child seeking communication. Humans can speak, and that's one of the reasons why we don't notice such signs. We can only hear words through our ears, and we can't sense the signs coming from our son's heart. Keiichi probably thinks it's all his fault. Of course, he's not absent of blame. Humans aren't dogs or cats. What are you talking about? Cats have blame, don't you, babies? Yeah. Like when you jump in front of my computer when I'm trying to do work. Yeah. We should know what's right and what's wrong. But it's our fault too as his parents. To let him think that he had to go that far for us to be able to understand was really pathetic and disappointing of us. If we had understood him and hadn't cornered him, Keiichi wouldn't have done that. So the incidents weren't only Keiichi's fault. Everyone in the Maibara family was to blame. I want to explain that to him, but he's still too young and hot-headed to be able to understand. Right now, the guilt he's feeling is basically crushing him under its weight. He doesn't even have the will to live. My wife is the same. She's blaming herself for forcing him to study for better grades. She thinks that's why the incidents took place. And I'm no different. I'm blaming myself for not being involved in my son's education. I think that's why the incidents took place. The cross will forever be on our shoulders, even after the injured child accepts our apologies. Yet our cold society would tell us to die under the weight of that cross. Even so, we have to live. We have to accept our sins and carry on our burdens in our shoulders. Come here, kitty bit. Maybe we can start a new life here in this village. Yep. I thought about all of that as I watched the girls dance. Keiichi needs friends like them. Friends like those girls will offer him so much more than the friends who only talked about cram schools and exam results. The girls are playing near a sign that doesn't fit into this open field. It's a sign about lots for sale, and the name of the realtor who brought me here for the tour is written on it. Oh, they're dancing in where Keiichi lives. Also, can somebody tell me why Keiichi's dad can see Hanyu? Does that mean we can live even in this beautiful area if you want to? Blah, blah, blah. One of the girls spoke as if reading my mind. This is a wonderful village. You will find lots of things you don't have in a big city. Yeah, that's right. I think so too. But I think you will bring some things from the city to this village that we don't have. Do we have anything? Sure you do. Ow. We've lived in this village for hundreds of years just like this. Nobody comes to visit and nothing happens. And so nothing ever changes. Isn't that what's good about this place? Didn't you come here because you wanted to change something? Yeah, you're right about that. We want new people to come here too. It's like breaking the dam that keeps the swamp water from flowing out. Water is purified by moving. If it stays motionless, then it's just a swamp. In fact, this village used to be named after a swamp at the Meiji area. But the name was changed to Hinamizawa. The water in the swamp stagnates because it doesn't flow. But the water in the stream stays fresh. Besides, you all are the ones who will teach us that. The dams can be broken, should be broken. I don't like that look on Rika's face. Are they saying that we need to break the dam? Do it! Break the dam! Flood Hinamizawa! Are they playing riddles with me? I have no idea what they're trying to say. But there's one thing I know. The villagers are waiting for new people to come here, and they want to build a future with those newcomers. I looked at the sign behind the girls one more time, so that I'd remember this place. I've already decided. We'll be waiting for you to move here, Maibara. Oh! There you are, sir! How did you get this far out? A raspy voice from the distance ended this innocent moment. It's the realtor. I love how she, made two very what comments, and he was just didn't even notice them. She said his last name when he never said it, and she was like father, like son. I guess he's been looking for me because I didn't return. Sorry about that. I got lost. I apologized while scratching my head. I turned around to look for the girls, but they weren't there anymore. We're running out of fragments, and I'm wondering what happened to Satoshi? this is the last one. Before the purple page. This is a school? Yeesh, this really is the sticks. Keiichi, don't say stuff like that. He's not alone. The people in this area love coming here. That was my first impression of the Hinamizawa branch school. No matter how I look at it, it doesn't look like a school at all. It even has a sign that says Hinamizawa Forestry Service. You're right. We're borrowing the building from the Forestry Service, said the man they called the principal as he laughed heartedly. Although it doesn't look like it, it is in fact a school. The rules may be a little different from the one you were previously at, though. You okay with that? Yeah. I heard all the grades are put in the same classroom at this school. I didn't believe it, but I think it's really true. They're all younger than I am, so I guess it'll be like kindergarten. Though it'll be interesting compared to my previous school where everyone looked the same age. If you transfer here, you'll be the oldest boy in class. So you'll have to be a good role model for the younger students. The younger students have the tendency to copy bad habits from the older ones. I'll be keeping my eye on you, so make sure you're aware of that. I understand. I'll do my best. Keiichi. What she means is that textbooks aren't the only thing you'll learn from. As a member of the class and also as an older student, you have to be a good example. I know that already. After that, Chi-sensei brought us to an empty classroom and showed me where my desk would be. Since we're all still growing, I'm sure our sizes vary differently. There are some desks that are way too small for me to even put my legs under, and also some that are just perfect for me. There are approximately 30 desks in here. But since all the grades are in the same room, I'm sure it's very lively. I don't even know how that would work. With one teacher, how would that work? That seems like the worst. Like, I'd rather be homeschooled. No, you don't, you little cat. There's also a wall full of calligraphy and art from different grades. It's all pretty exciting, nothing like my previous school. It reminds me of the days when I truly enjoyed my school life. Dad, I like it here. I like the school better than the one in town. I think my son likes it here. I want him to go to this school too. I see. The school in Okonomiya has more resources and better teachers though. Even while saying that, Chi-sensei looked happy to hear that a new student would be transferring into her class. My father and the teachers went back to the teacher's office to get the transfer process going. In the meantime, I decided to stay in the classroom and look around. I didn't care about the move. I'd lost the will to live because of what I did. I didn't have any willpower, and I couldn't even get out of bed. So when my parents told me about the move, I thought that wouldn't change anything. But after the move, something did change. I want to restart my life. I want to restart my life and become someone I've always wanted to be. Here in Hinamizawa and at this school, I can do that. I'm not going back to who I was. I'll never again think that good grades are the most important thing in this world. The sad thing about Japanese culture is that the way Keiichi... That is such a thing. Like, when I was teaching, my students in elementary school were already going to like cram schools and stuff. Like, it is crazy how much like stress is put on them. I never had the chance to learn them before now. It's almost embarrassing to put into words, but they're extremely valuable things, and if you don't learn them, you won't become a decent adult. The students at this school learned them a long time ago. To them, they're a given. Yet I have to spend time learning about them even at this age. How to make friends, how to play with friends, to play. Things you can only learn from play. Things like socializing with others, etc. It seems so easy, but it'll take me a while to learn them. I pushed those things aside and devoted myself to studying. I'm not trying to say studying isn't important, but you shouldn't become blinded by it. If someone says studying and good grades are the most important things in life, he's talking bullshit. Why is it necessarily a he, Keiichi? So I can restart my life here at this school. Finally, I can become someone I've always wanted to be. I noticed... Oh, Keiichi sees Hanyu too! I noticed two girls looking in at me through the window. The schoolyard must also be a playground for these children because I saw a lot of them playing there earlier. I guess those two noticed me walking around the classroom and became curious. I guess that's natural. I'm a stranger to them. Should I say hello and let them know I'm starting school next Monday? Finally! We've been waiting for so long! Oh my god! What the fuck? Why are people seeing Hanyu? Oh, this will change things! Because Keiichi is the 6 on the die! Oh. Yes, he is. But his die rolls are 1 far too often. Oh, that's not Keiichi's fault, though. It's all your fault, Hanyu. It's because of you. Apologize to Keiichi. Huh? Do you know my name? She said my name, didn't she? I love how Keiichi catches up on that, but his dad was just like, no. Did I hear her wrong? I've never met her before. Mippa! Are you a new student? Huh? Nice to meet you. I'm Keiichi Maibara. I'm starting next Monday. Take care of me, okay? Sure thing. Here's a message for you, Keiichi, from the Shrine Maiden of Furude Shrine. On your first day, be careful when you come through the doors to the classroom. Also, there'll be a thumbtack on the back of your chair. There'll be a toy frog in your desk, too. And even with this warning, you'll fall for it again and again. How many times have these two girls watched Keiichi fall for the thumbtack? Your Monday's going to be disastrous. Poor Keiichi. That's why it's fun. Why don't you try overcoming that feat sometime? You'll be the one to teach us that. In one of the many worlds, right? Huh? Huh? What the hell is a snaggle-toothed girl? I'll be reminded of the prophecy made by the two girls next Monday because of the actions of a snaggle-toothed girl. Wait, if Keiichi has seen Hanyu, why has he never asked where she is? I'll realize it too late, though. But I like it here. My name is Keiichi Maibara. This is my new beginning, and this time, I'm going to enjoy it to the fullest. I've been missing out on so much, but I'm going to learn all those things here. I'm going to absorb all of it, and I'll become someone I've always wanted to become. It may take a very long time, but I'll definitely do it. I think that was the last one. What happened to Satoshi? Did the back change? Oh my god. The Revenge of Mio Takano. We have a sea urchin and a teddy bear. I think we could do these two. Okay, well, we're gonna stop that episode there because that seems like a good... This seems like we're getting into end game here. So yeah, so let's stop it there and I will see you guys next time. Jenny!